Tide Talk with Webb is back, baby! What's going on, man? A lot going on here, busy. Y'all want to see what's in my nose? Anyway, let's get down to business. Had A-Day, had a really good A-Day. A lot of guys showing out, looking good. Like I said, let's start going through the teams of the starters that we think they may be. We got defensive line. These are post-spring Alabama projections on defensive depth charts. We think it's going to be junior Waquan Davis and at defensive end with Johnny Dwight, a redshirt senior. Not a whole lot of depth there. Let me just go ahead and prep for this. A lot of the defense, we have deficiencies because last year, as we all know, more than half our coaching staff left. So we missed on quite about 5 or 6 guys that we really needed for depth. And unfortunately, we missed on those guys, so we're going to have to make do with what we got. We had some guys leave early for the draft, as we saw. So, I have to fill in and do what we can do. Saban and the boys are hot on the recruiting trail. Number 2 in nation overall recruiting, so we're getting on that ass. And hopefully we'll get all that straightened out. But anyway, at nose tackle, we got redshirt sophomore Quinn Williams. Everybody's saying this dude's a beast. He's coming out hardcore. He's unblockable. Or it's just our offensive line's that bad, but I'm going with he's unblockable. Redshirt freshman Fendarius Mathis is backing him up. At the other side, at defensive end, we got Isaiah Buggs, who we saw him last year. He was a dominant force, great player. He's coming back hardcore. Sophomore LeBron Ray, we saw him play against Clemson last year. He was lighting it up. From all things that I'm seeing and what we saw in A-Day, both these two gentlemen were lighting it up. So that's good. They probably will all year. This group was causing problems along the offensive line in the spring game and in the scrimmages, everybody's telling me. Davis is a monster. He's looking for a big-time season because next year he's probably looking going to the draft. Buggs, Davis, and Williams in the spring game, they combined for 21 tackles, 6 stops for a loss, and 5 sacks, and 3 additional quarterback hurries, and so those guys, if they can stay healthy all year, they're going to be a problem for all the offensive lines in the SEC. I don't see them really having a problem anywhere. Like I said, even LeBron Ray had a really good game. He alone had 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a pass deflection in the spring game. So I think we may be low in the depth, lower than we wanted to be, but I think because of their athleticism, if they can stay healthy, we should be fine. We also got JUCO nose tackle Tavita Musika. He's coming in. That should help with this group of guys. Linebacker, we got the jack position. We got looking like we got Anthony Jennings, redshirt senior Jamie Mosley, and sophomore Chris Allen. So that's good. Those guys will be great. At Sam, we got redshirt senior Christian Miller and junior Terrell Lewis. Those guys were hurt all last year. They were studs up until they got hurt. So hopefully luck will have it. They play all year and can show out. This unit is supposed to be the strength of Alabama. Everything I'm seeing, everything I'm reading, this is supposed to be the Mac Daddy group of them all. And like I said, thank God we were so loaded at linebacker last year with all the problems we had with depth because of injuries. That really helped. So hopefully these guys can show out, these older cats, and come out with a good year. So anyway, like I said, Miller had 2 sacks in the spring game. Lewis, according to some Alabama, is looking somewhat capable of going to the first round next year if he just can stay healthy because of his skill set. At the outside linebacker spots, we've got at the Mike position, we got sophomore Dylan Moses and redshirt junior Josh McMillan. Moses is a stud from what we saw until he broke his foot against Clemson. We were kind of concerned about that against going into Georgia, rightfully so. At the will position, we got junior Mac Wilson and redshirt freshman Markel Benton. Those guys should be studs, should be all good. Moses and Wilson both have, big potential, and I think they're going to live up to it this year. This is their year to shine. I think you'll be hard pressed to find a more talented tandem and collective athleticism on this linebacking core as a whole. I think it's a really, really stout. I think you're going to see it this coming year. Like I said, Moses actually made 10 tackles during the spring game. Alabama's first team offensive line, or offense that averaged only 2.9 yards a carry. So, like I said, Wilson had 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups. So I'm telling you, this group is going to be littered with some really stout guys. Cornerback is another area of contention. We missed on some guys, as y'all saw, as we know, because of everything that happened. Kind of was hoping we could nail the deal on some other guys. Unfortunately, we didn't. Like I said, because of the changeover, but that's all right. At cornerback, we got Trayvon Diggs. He'll probably start. Redshirt sophomore. Nigel Knott. A lot of these guys have been in the system for a minute. Cornerback, he's a JUCO kid. Savion Smith. Everybody's speaking of this guy really highly. Then you got freshman Patrick Surtain. So these guys are going to be a little bit younger. Smith won't. Surtain will. He'll learn and learn fast. If he starts playing early, by the 5th game of the season, he won't be a freshman anymore. That's a known fact. Diggs and Smith went on far camp as the favorites in their positions. Carter is the current first-team star right now. Like I said, depth is a big concern. Patrick Surtain will be coming in. He'll be behind the 8 ball because he's not there currently. Excuse me. But I think we should be fine. Safeties, at free safety, we got sophomore Xavier Kinney and junior Jared Maiden for those spots. At strong safety, we got junior Deontay Thompson. A lot of people are very high on him. We got Daniel Wright. I think he's the one that passed out in the national championship game. I was sitting on the sidelines. Hopefully that young man's okay. So a lot of people believe Thompson is he's a two-headed beast. A lot of people believe that he's plays like Landon Collins, but he's got the hitting ability of Clinton Dix. So if that's true and he lives up to 2/3 of that, he should be pretty lethal in the field. McKinney is a favorite to start at safety next to him, next to Maiden. So we'll see how that goes. Kickers, pretty excited about this. Joseph Bulovas hit 5 of 7 field goals. He made a 49, a 48. He missed on a 47 and a 43. But he's looking pretty good. Then we've also got graduate transfer from Temple coming in. He hit 82% of his kicks his senior year, so that's good. So we'll see what's going to happen. So he made 37 of 45. Jones did from Temple. So hopefully that gets situated. We can't be any worse than we were last year. That's a known fact. So see how that goes. Skylar DeLong is the punter, the heir apparent to J.K. Scott. J.K. Scott is super hard to replace because he was just killing it. He averaged only 49 yards per punt during Alabama spring game, which is not great. But 6 of his 10 punts were down inside the 20-yard line, so that was good. But I think that's more attribute to the kickoff team. Like I said, I'm gonna run down the list of. I know it's late. I'm sorry, guys. Let's run down the list from Alabama at the 2018 draft. This is the order they went in. Minkah Fitzpatrick was drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the first round. Defensive tackle Deron Payne went to the Washington Redskins first round. Linebacker Rashaan Evans got picked up by the Titans in the first round. Wide receiver, he went really late, surprisingly. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley by the Atlanta Falcons in the first round. Safety Ronnie Harrison went to the Jags, third round. Defensive end Deshaun Hand by the Detroit Lions in the fourth round. Cornerback Anthony Everett by the Baltimore Ravens in the fourth round. Punter J.K. Scott by the Green Bay Packers in the fifth round. Linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton by the Redskins in the sixth round. Center Bradley Bozeman by the Ravens in the sixth round. Running back Bo Scarborough by the Dallas Cowboys in the seventh round. Defensive tackle Joshua Frazier by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the seventh. So that was great. Some notable mentions. I want to throw it out to the guys getting higher education and finishing up their degrees. Sherman Williams, everybody knew him in the 1992 National Championship game. He had that Sherman shake. Everybody knew him, and Derrick Henry and Amari Cooper. Past guys as well. They're set to graduate, so hats off to you guys. One of the quick notes I made. Alabama reportedly hires new head of recruiting. Bob Welton is his name. He's leaving Scott Frost at Nebraska to play personnel director at Bama. Last 5 years, he was head of Tennessee recruiting. I know what you're saying, but he had some pretty darn good classes, minus his last 2 years he was there because they were so bad. 10 years before that, he was the Cleveland Browns college scout. Tennessee had the number 7 recruiting class his first year on the job. He had a lot of promise. They're fourth in the nation in 2015. The last 2 years, they were 14th and 15th. But I think the way they finished the last 2 years, or last 3 years, it was a downward spiral, and I don't blame the drop-off. Good hope and good luck to that guy. Anyway, Tide Talk Web, I'm out!